Hello everybody, what's going on? It's your main man Tommy on the spot. Thank you so much for downloading today's edition of the Wrestling Drive. I hope everyone is doing very, very well. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Today is, in fact, Monday, August the 29th, the final week of summer. Maybe not officially, but theoretically the final week of summer. Time just flies so much during this season and throughout the entire year. Hope everyone is doing well. Wanted to get into tonight's big edition of Monday Night Raw and the big main event, a really intriguing main event that's going to happen tonight on Raw. But before we do, I did want to just quickly mention, I know I've been away here for the last few days. Obviously last week was the really fun weekend of Summerslam. Really, really good times that we had with that. Hope everyone enjoyed the coverage we had here on the Wrestling Drive. I've gotten some great feedback, also on the DailySpotlight.com, and that'll just continue to kind of pick up and steamroll as we roll through here. But yeah, then from there, I was unfortunately away with, well, fortunately, it was good times. I was away with the fam for a few days over the Atlantic City Boardwalk, which you'll see the video of tomorrow on this YouTube channel right here for the Travel Tuesdays edition. And so unfortunately I was just away, but I am back here, back in the saddle again, if you will. Wanted to touch on a few of the different topics going on in the world of pro wrestling before we do, again, get into Raw tonight. Have to start off with a really, really unfortunate piece of news. Unfortunately, yesterday it was announced that the great former manager of World Wrestling Entertainment and all the different territories throughout the wrestling world, Mr. Fuji, had passed away at the age of 82. Real big, really sad piece of news here. Mr. Fuji, right there with Bobby Heenan, was probably one of the first memories I have of that, that heel villainous manager. And, excuse me, and really, in my opinion, was really effective in his role, both as the manager. I remember for the manager, first for Demolition, and then for the Powers of Pain. You remember that Survivor Series where he kind of was the turning point there. It really was just like that, he found a way to really kind of get under your skin. I remember then from there, him being the real catalyst to really bring Yokozuna into the WWF, and he'd always say, "Ma Yokozuna," and it was always just like, he was awesome. He was a really awesome heel. He'd throw the salt in the eyes. I mean, I remember the WrestleMania 9 when he threw the salt in Bret Hart's eyes, helping Yokozuna win the title, and of course then Hulk Hogan comes out. But for that moment, it was, oh my God, heels winning and ending WrestleMania, holding up the title here, that devious Mr. Fuji. So, and then of course growing up, you then go back, I look back and I see that not only was he one of the best villainous managers of all time, but he was actually really funny. And you go back and you look at all those classic Fuji Vice skits with Don Morocco and just see, what a funny guy he was. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to go back and they're going to kind of relive some of the memories. I mean, he obviously had a great life, 82 years old. It's a hell of a good run. So, may he rest in peace. And I'm sure WWE will give a nice, fitting tribute to somebody who is a Hall of Famer for them. And, yeah, I mean, a real bummer. And obviously the good news is that with the WWE Network, you can go on and just kind of look up a whole bunch of Mr. Fuji's run in WWE and some of his greatest moments. So I know I'll be doing that. I was doing that yesterday, watching a bunch of the old Fuji Vice skits and watching some of the promo work that he did introducing Yokozuna. And yeah, it's just it's a bummer. And Mr. Fuji will definitely be missed. No easy way to do the transition off of announcing somebody who had passed away, except to say that unfortunately, we will, and we're going to be talking now about Monday Night Raw tonight. Tonight's Raw is pretty interesting, even though we're coming off of a really jam-packed time for World Wrestling Entertainment. Tonight's Raw, in my opinion, is going to be a lot of fun and has a big match that I'm not too sure who's going to win. And what was the last time you could really say you had no idea who was going to win this match? It'll be the Fatal Four-Way for the Universal Championship. Obviously, Finn Balor had to vacate the title last week, and tonight there'll be a Fatal Four-Way to determine the new champion, and that will take place when Seth Rollins takes on Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, and Big Cass. It's going to be really interesting to see where they go from here. It seemed like WWE was really behind kind of giving somebody new a chance, and that's why, they wanted to go with Finn Balor and kind of get a fresh blood atop of the brand. So with that being said, you would think maybe Kevin Owens has a chance. Or maybe even though I don't see it, maybe Big Cass has a chance. I mean, him and Enzo, I'll tell you right now, they get the biggest reactions no matter where they are on the card. And who knows, maybe they want to take that act and the Certified G act and kind of give them the Universal title. I'll tell you right now, it would certainly get over. They'd be there was a ton of people I saw during SummerSlam weekend, both at NXT and at SummerSlam and at Raw, rocking the Certified G shirts and just could not wait for Enzo to come out. And the whole time he comes out, they do the whole thing. If you have Enzo with the champion, hey, you never know. I think that it could be maybe Big Cass. Maybe they just strap the Rocket to Big Cass and they say, hey, let's see what we have here. Likely, I'd say Seth Rollins is your guy they're going to give the title to. But I do feel almost with Seth, even though he's just been back here for a little while, it's almost like a been there, done that type of thing. I don't expect Roman Reigns to win the title. That really wouldn't make much sense, kind of where they're going with Roman Reigns. I expect him to kind of tilt back over to Rusev. They still have unfinished business. They haven't even had their big match at SummerSlam. So I expect him to kind of drift back towards Rusev. I could even see Rusev getting involved tonight. But, yeah, a lot of fun things going on in this match. I mean, you're going to have, obviously, Jericho down there to either support or maybe even kind of get under the skin of Kevin Owens. Then you'll have Enzo out there helping Big Cass. So if you put a gun to my head and I had to pick, I'd probably say Rollins gets the title tonight. But I would not be too shocked to see kind of a win out of nowhere for a guy like Kevin Owens or a guy like Big Cass. And I'd even lean more towards Cass if I had to pick one of those two. So it's going to be a really interesting match there tonight. I think tonight should be a real fun show as we kind of get back into the routine, the calm after the storm, if you will, of all the fallout from SummerSlam. So should be a lot of fun. Until tomorrow, we'll talk about Raw and we'll get kind of going. But make sure you tune into thedailyspotlight.com. I got a lot of fun things coming up the peak there, and a lot of fun football stuff. If you're into football, we're going to be really hitting the ground on the football stuff this week. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. Until then, everybody, this has been Tommy on the Spot. Make sure you hit me up on the Twitter at TommyOnTheSpot or at @daily_spotlight. Have a very, very good week. Let's get through this together. All right.